So if your business is growing, number one, congratulations. Number two, I'm sure you're ready to start posting some positions on some job boards like LinkedIn or Indeed. And so I'm here to help you today with exactly how you want to create your job description to post on these different job boards. So my name is Dayana. I am an operations and growth strategist, and I help companies, especially small business owners and entrepreneurs like yourself, to be able to build high-performing teams as well as automating their systems and processes to create scalable businesses. So let's get into it. All right, so I'm going to be going over today exactly how to set up your roles and responsibilities. So this is going to be something that's going to go on a job board, and people don't really think about roles and responsibilities as often until you're starting to build out the infrastructure of your business. And then you're like, oh my goodness, let me make sure that I go back and that I get all these things in place. So starting off, this is one that I made previously for a company. And so we're just going to kind of go through this. And then I'm going to also teach you how to go in and create a prompt within ChatGPT. That way you can actually create your own as well. So within this one, this one's going to be for a MarTech coordinator role. And it's just like a little bit about what we're looking for. Again, some more information about who we're looking for, if they're an effective communicator, if they're able to see the big picture, etc. And then we also tell them exactly what we're made up of. So we tell them a little bit about who we are as a company, so that we're action oriented, that we work together, we build relationships, we support each other. And then we let them know as well that the ideal candidate for this role will be in a diverse or have a diverse range of marketing skills and have solid understanding of digital marketing concepts, platforms, etc. So we let them know that this is a full-time position and that it's in person. Especially nowadays, it's very, very important for you to say that ahead of time, because a lot of people are looking for either part-time roles, or they might be looking for a hybrid or a fully remote role. So having this, honestly, we probably should have even bolded this, is saying that this is an in-person position. Of course, we'll offer some benefits. So being part of a supportive and dynamic team, flexible working hours, and then health benefit options after their 30-day employment period. So that's pretty standard for places, the 60 days of employment. That's just normally what do they call it? Oh my goodness, I'm going blank. But it's basically, your probationary period. That's what they call it, is your probationary period. So 60 days is pretty standard. I've seen some that offer benefits on day one, which is great, but this particular company waited until 60 days. And then we're also letting them know that since this is an in-person position, they're only looking for people that are available in Dallas, Texas. So this can also be applicable for you if you don't really care about where they are. If it's a remote role, totally fine. Tell them wherever is fine. You can be located anywhere. Or if you want them to be, I've seen a lot lately, if you want them to be in a specific time zone, I've also seen that where they say must be located in Mountain Standard Time, or even if you're not located in that you're willing to work Mountain Standard Time hours. Let's see, going down, we're going to go into some responsibilities. So we want the candidate to know a little bit about what they'll actually be doing with the company. We don't want them to come in completely blindsided. So one of the ways to do this is to have, I would say, some core responsibilities. So right here, this is the core of this specific position. So a marketing tech coordinator, this is something that's actually growing a whole lot within companies, because there's a lot of people that are good at the strategy of the marketing, but aren't actually good at the implementation of the marketing. And people think of marketing as taking photos or social media. Social media is like the biggest and main thing that comes to everyone's mind. But then you also have like email communications. Email communications they don't have to be complex, but they can be extremely complex depending on the segmentation. And that's something I can get into, because that's kind of another rabbit hole. I can do that in another video. But having someone that actually understands the technology behind all your email communications, understanding who's segmented, what emails are going out when, to which audience, all of that is extremely important. So here we have one of their main responsibilities is going to be email and text campaigns. So letting them know that they're going to be creating them, editing the email content. Some people just have you actually implementing, but this one is partially going to be creating and editing. And then funnel creation and maintenance. So being able to create funnels is also very helpful, especially in a marketing tech role, because that means you can create landing pages, you can create automations, you can create different funnels within either like ClickFunnels, or ClickFunnels is the most well-known one for funnels, but I mean, even websites like Wix or WordPress or I think it's like Squarespace, all those different ones. There's different platforms out there. So having an overall knowledge of how to build a funnel and how to connect all of the tags and tech and testing, all of that is extremely pivotal in this particular role. We also let them know some of the required experience and skills. So I like to always have required experience and skills and then preferred experience and skills, because there's some things that if a candidate doesn't have these foundational skills, they're probably not going to be very successful in the role, and that would be setting them up for failure. However, there's preferred experience and skills. These things can be taught, and there's a lot of people that might not have all of these, but still might be great candidates. So if they check all of the boxes under required, then there's some things that if they're under preferred, that's just going to help them to stand out even more during the interview process. So let's go over required. So experience managing email campaigns and funnels, detail-oriented, let's see, prioritization of tasks and projects to ensure on-time completion. So making sure they actually have done a somewhat project management role. It doesn't have to exactly be called project management, but making sure that they know how to prioritize their tasks essentially to make sure that everything gets done within a timely manner. Active campaign specific experience. So this particular company wanted them to be able to understand and utilize Active Campaign because that was their main CRM. They also wanted ClickFunnels specific experience because they were primarily using ClickFunnels for their sales pages. They wanted them to be skilled in media writing because, like I said at the top, they're not only going to be implementing the tech, but they're going to be creating the email, the text sequences, and all of the copy to go in that. So they wanted them to be skilled in media writing. And then a basic understanding of Google Workspace, which is pretty common nowadays, I've seen, just to know that you are comfortable with G Suite. So that's Google Docs, which is what we're exactly looking at right now. Google Sheets, Slides, what else? There's quite a few other ones, but those are like the main ones that you use on a regular basis. So that was something that this company wanted to make sure that they did. Some preferred experience and skills would be prior experience with the following tools. So of course, Active Campaign and ClickFunnels. This really wasn't preferred experience because they already asked for that up there under the required. So I would actually take this part out. And so they wanted them to be experienced in Zap, which we've talked about before. They wanted them to be experienced in Hyros, Hotjar, Zoom, Facebook ads, and YouTube ads. So this is a very complex role, honestly, because they're not only doing the tech, they're not only doing the written portion with creating all the copy, strategizing the copy and the customer journey and experience. They're also implementing all of this tech into the email campaigns, into the landing pages, websites, etc. But then they're also going to be managing ads. So they're not necessarily the one that's going to say, okay, turn this ad on, turn this ad off, but they are going to have a hand in it to where they need to be able to look at the overall analytics. And that right there is a very well-rounded person. I would say that person probably has at least 3 to 5 years of experience in a marketing role to be able to have all of those things pretty down pat, because some of these tools down here, especially Zapier, is pretty user-friendly. Hyros and Hotjar, once you get the hang of them, they're not too bad, but just integrating them, that takes some time. Again, ClickFunnels and Active Campaign, having both of these in themselves, they're quick to learn, but they take maybe 2 to 3 years to get actually completely proficient in them. And that's with just knowing everything like the back of your hand and setting out a system. I would say closer to 2 years. And then lastly, they have the ideal candidate. So some characteristics that they want from this candidate. They want them to be flexible because this business was a startup. And so they want to make sure that everyone can adapt quickly to new initiatives and aren't going to just get stuck and be hard to move or hard to change their minds on certain things because things were changing on a daily basis. They also want someone who's going to be cooperative and collaborative because, again, as a startup, all hands were on deck. So everyone needed to be able to put in and invest time where they needed to and to be able to collaborate and work together. So we also needed everyone to be cooperative because sometimes even though people collaborate with one another, they might feel some type of way or they might not be on board for something. So we need everyone to be able to cooperate together. And then lastly is going to be personal responsibility because with it being a smaller company, we needed everyone to take individual responsibility for the tasks that they were doing and the tasks that they had at hand to make sure that everything got carried out efficiently and effectively. So overall, this would be, and of course we have job description full-time again, just to reiterate, But this would be an example of a marketing tech coordinator job description. And I will actually list this below just so that way you all can have this free resource down below. And then I will also, let's go over here to ChatGPT. So I literally just created this. So I haven't even optimized it or anything like that yet. I just titled it Director of Operations for a Fitness Company. So say if we're wanting to hire for honestly, we can see because this one was actually made pre ChatGPT. I mean, ChatGPT has been around, but it was made some years ago. So we were not using ChatGPT at that time, but I want to see what it would come up with for the role, responsibilities, and required and preferred experience and skills. So let's see. So I'm going to say you're a director. Oops. Y'all are going to see my terrible typing for a fitness. I'm going to say an online fitness brand. An online fitness company that provides personal training and online course resources and online courses for individuals on their health and fitness journey. We are hiring for let's see, I might as well make this into like a real business. So I'm going to say, let's see, for a fitness company called Fitness a Day. That's just a random name I came up with. We are hiring for a marketing tech coordinator. What are some what are some responsibilities of this role and preferred as well as required experience? And so I should have said this at the beginning, but I actually would have done the roles and responsibilities first and then created the job description. But I will post a video on creating a roles and responsibilities for the position as well. That way you all can have that. I'm sorry that it wasn't in order, but just wanted to make sure we got through this. So, okay, this is the prompt that I used. Again, you would just plug in what your company is called, what the position is that you want them to be within the company. I would recommend something senior level, so either director or C-suite level, especially if you are a smaller company. That's going to help to tailor it to what exactly you're needing. You'll probably have to give them a little bit more information, but for time purposes, I was just trying to make something quick. So for Mark Tech Coordinator, the bridge between marketing strategy and tech implementation. Okay, yes, this is fully on track, making sure that we're fully optimized to attract, convert, and retain customers across their fitness journey. Cool. Still on track. We're loving this. Okay, so some key responsibilities. Marketing system management. So they're going to manage and maintain the CRM, which is active campaigns right there. Set up and optimize email sequences, build and monitor automations, funnel and website support. So yeah, we had that initially as well. That's going to be on ClickFunnels. There we go. Support website integrations, analytics and reporting. So yes, we had that as well. They're going to be on the Meta Ads Manager and Google Analytics. They're going to be checking open rates, conversion rates, click-through rates, course and membership integration. So absolutely dealing with the coaching platforms and the fitness courses that they have. Maintaining tag and segmentation structure, yes. Tech troubleshooting and Q&A. So if anyone's having any issues, they would be the main person that you would go to. And then collaboration and strategy. They'll work closely with the other departments to align marketing technology with broader business goals. I 100% am in line with this. I might even like this one a little bit more than the old one. Again, that one was done, it's been like four or 5 years ago. But okay, so required experience. So we're gonna have 2+ years experience in marketing tech. Okay, so I was said like 2 to 3 years. Proficient in CRM and email platforms, hands-on experience with marketing funnel software. We can read all of that. The only thing that I might take out is familiarity with HTML, CSS. This is important, but I've actually worked for companies where we did not have that, and we had a lot of employees and we were totally fine. Now, I do think that having someone eventually within your company that is familiar with coding and just basic HTML, CSS, I do think that that is helpful, but it is not essential because that can cause things to go up a little bit more price, or it can cause your budget for hiring to go up a little bit more because normally those people with those specific skills tend to cost a little bit more than someone that has non-coding experience. And then preferred experience. So they actually have quite a bit experience working in health and fitness. That is totally understood because then they'll know what types of tools and resources that will be needed within that space to help with conversions. They're familiar with Thinkific and Teachable, which are some course platforms, knowledgeable of SMS marketing tools, comfortable with Zapier, experience integrating lead gen, basic graphic editing, understanding of customer journey, which I would 100% say this understanding of user journey optimization and customer segmentation would actually, to me, probably go under required experience. Personally, that's the only reason I say that is because if you don't know how to do segmentation for something, that is going to make it extremely, extremely difficult. So what I would do is I would end up just going over here, copying this over. I'm just going to create, I'm going to create a copy. Sure, copy. And then I'm just going to put something, because the ideal candidate, all that stuff is true. We might just edit down here below. Oh, come on. And we'll edit this. And so then I'll just have to go in and actually like reformat it, take out all of these like, whoa, take out all of these different extra pieces and extra blanks and all that stuff to reformat it properly. But I would actually leave this first part. I would just make sure that everything was the same size and was the same font. That way everything is uniformed. And then again, I'll just reformat this, take out any of these line breaks. And this really gave us exactly what we needed. If there's certain things that we don't want, simply just go in here and take this off. Where was it that I want it to? Oh, the preferred. Oh, here, this one. So there was one that I wanted to move. So if there's something that you want to move or edit, just edit it right there. And then if you want to fix spacing, of course, this is not a tutorial on how to use Google Docs. But yeah, that's all of that in a nutshell. So now that you know how to post your first job description and job posting on a job board, I encourage you to do so ASAP. I know they're going to try to pressure you sometimes with running ads for your job postings. You don't have to do that. Just post your job posting and be checking it on a regular basis. I want you all to end up having that little icon beside them that I think they have on Indeed that's like a responsive employer. That is key because a lot of people, whenever they are applying for jobs, they like to see that icon because that means they're going to actually hear something back. Even if they don't get the job, they at least hear something back because there's nothing worse for applying for a job and not hearing anything, especially if you're a small company. Just go that extra mile and give them that sense of a good employee experience. Even if they're not your actual employee, give them that good experience with working with your company. So if this was helpful, please feel free to subscribe to my channel. I'll be dropping daily tips and tricks and valuable videos like this over the next 100 days. And then also I will be providing this resource for this job description below. That way you all can copy it. I'll also use the prompt that I used in ChatGPT. I'll post that in the comment section as well. So I hope this was helpful for you and I look forward to seeing you tomorrow.